Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. So it's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild, all his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off. Online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, 20 takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up. Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and in today's episode, we are joined by a very special guest, current professional goaltender Zach Quinn. Zach is currently playing the SPHL with the Birmingham Bulls. In his first official year pro, you had a stint in Peoria early or late last year. So you also played 4 years of college hockey with University of Wisconsin River Falls. Spent 2 years playing junior hockey in the North American Hockey League in the NAHL. So this is going to be a fun interview, Zach. So welcome to the show, Zach Quinn.
Thank you. Excited to be on here, talk about my experiences. So let's get after it.
Yeah, for sure. So to start things off, like, how have you been? Like, you were playing with Carolina but earlier in the season, then you just recently got called up to SPHL to Birmingham Bulls. Like, how is everything going with that?
It's going good. Actually, before Carolina, I was in Danbury, and then they got the news that their season wasn't going to start. So I was loaned to Carolina, was down there for 3 or 4 weeks, I think, got a couple games in, and then was one of the lucky guys here this year to get called up to the SP and be able to play.
Yeah, that's unreal. So like, how did the season go for you this year, especially with like, since it was like a crazy year, since like you're lucky to play games whenever you can, since games can be canceled, postponed anytime. So like, how was the season for you so far?
Season good. Both, or besides the Danbury thing, Carolina, they got all their games in when I was down there, or they haven't had one canceled yet. And then Birmingham, I got here Monday of last week, and I played all 3 games this past weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's going. We're all taking our precautions here in Birmingham. In Carolina, people are taking their precautions seriously, and that's what you have to do this year. I mean, if you're being a little lax on it, then that's where you could probably get into trouble, and the season games could get canceled. You just never know right now.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, how difficult is playing pro hockey this year, especially with like all the restrictions and everything? Like, you can't really do anything besides go to the rink and maybe go to the store to get like essentials. Like, what has this year been like with all the restrictions and everything?
Um, it's just tough because guys, like, in a normal season, they like to go out, like go to restaurants, go after a game, maybe you go out to and have a beer or something like that to just relieve some stress in that. So this year it's just tough. A lot of guys don't have that stress reliever what they typically could do. So it is a tough thing, but guys, I mean, when you start getting into pro hockey or high end college hockey, people adapt, you adapt, and you find maybe something that works better for you. And um, that's that's what I had to do. I was a guy who I would like to maybe go out, and I would have a beer or something to just relax after a game, talk it over with some of the guys. If my parents were in town, I would talk to them. But obviously with this year, you just go back to the apartments that you live at and you hang out with the guys. If they want to go out, or if they want to go to a different apartment or something. If not, you just kind of just sit in your own apartment with your roommates and you talk it out.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a tough time, especially with like everything going on, like all the restrictions. But just staying at home or in your apartment probably helps you recover the body a little bit more, especially since that's pretty much all you can do is just relax at home and just recover and like maybe play some video games with the boys, like talk to the boys, like hang out. Like those are at least times that you can rely on during all those times that could be stressful.
Yeah, I actually just bought a little massage gun. Just came in today. So I was laying in bed. I haven't played a 3-and-3 in probably 7 years, maybe something like that. So this past weekend, my body took a little beating. So I got a little massage gun, and I was just laying in bed. I was hitting my hips, my groin, hamstrings, all that stuff with it. So it's nice to be able to just come back to the apartment and relax. And yeah, it's a sucky time because it's not normal, and this year is, like you said, the restrictions, but like you said, it's helping guys get to come home, relax more.
Yeah, exactly. So like going on to the season a little bit here, like what were some of the things that you learned, especially from like getting called up from the Fed to the SB and like playing games and going right into a 3-and-3, like you said, like what have been some of the things you had to learn from getting called up and applying it right away to your game?
um Definitely that, like I said, you got to adapt right away. Like um obviously being in the Fed, it's different league, different things happen, different style for sure. A lot of shots from the outside in the Fed, I would say. And then getting the call up here, definitely the first practice, you can see a change in pace, change in shots, change in shot selection. A guy's going to hold the puck a little bit longer, try to make you bite, see how patient you are, and then that all translates into the 3-and-3 this past weekend. Definitely the first game, not a lot of shots. I think there was like 27, I think, but grade A's were definitely a bigger factor in this league because, like I said, guys just a lot smarter, they're quicker. But other than that, off the ice, I would say guys take care of themselves pretty well in this league too. A lot of ice baths, a lot of stretching, rolling out. Not saying that doesn't happen in the Fed either, but definitely you can see the difference in the way guys handle themselves.
Yeah, for sure. So like going into like practices a little bit, like when you first got called up, like how long did it take you to adjust to everything? Because I'm guessing the guys shoot a little bit harder, the game's a little bit faster. Like every step of the way, it goes keep that like intensity goes up a level. So like, how are you able to keep up with it with them, and just how long is it able? How long does it take to adjust to all that?
I was actually lucky. I would say when I was in Danbury and then in Carolina, I mean, those are two of the best teams in the league, I would say. So you have some guys down there that can rip the puck, that can shoot it. And then getting up here, like it's a change, but you don't really notice the hardness of the shot selection or like shooting the puck. It's like I was saying, like a guy can change his angle just a little bit faster or shoot in stride a little bit better. It probably took me a couple shots, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes to actually get comfortable in the net. I mean, like you get called up, you're nervous. Like when I got called up, I was the only goalie. So Practice was a little tough that day as being the only goalie, but I would say it's playing in Danbury and Carolina definitely helped me with shots and stuff like that, just because those are two of the best teams, best guys probably in that league are on those two teams.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's always nice like facing those high quality shots, like you said, and just especially since they're arguably the two best teams in the league. Like you have guys that can rip it and then it makes that step up easier. Like I've learned that just from shooting around with guys from different leagues and like when I practice, and like you can definitely tell the difference, and like it's easier to adjust when you have those guys that are just coming in like shooting it, like ripping it at you, and like you've already took shots like that, so it's a little bit easier to transition than just get thrown in the fire without any warning at all.
Yeah. Guys here in Birmingham too, and I guess Carolina, they were all good at like warm up shots. Nothing's like guys coming down to the hash marks or ripping them high or anything like that. Like, so definitely when you get those warm up shots in, you start feeling a little bit more comfortable instead of just hopping right in and a guy comes down and takes a clapper from the bottom hash right at your head. So, which is, I mean, there's guys out there that probably do that, and as a goalie, it sucks, but it's our job. So
Yeah, that is true, and it sucks when that happens. Like your first shot you take, it's already ripped at your head. You're like, holy smokes! Like, is this game gonna be like or practice gonna be like this the entire time? But then like once you get like guys shooting low and like getting you warmed up, like it's a whole lot better and like starting to feel the puck for sure.
yeah, I'm not if it's warm ups and I get a headshot, I'm pretty upset. But like if it's a normal practice drill where 25 minutes in and the guy rips it and it hits me in the head, like I'm not going to be mad. I mean, like you're a goalie. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, you're going to like keep the shot down, but like you're a goalie. It happens. Just like you let in a bad goal sometimes, the forward in practice is going to come down and yeah, he throws a shot and it hits a bump or something and comes up, hits you in the head. I mean, you just gotta take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's no way around it, especially as a goalie. Like it's gonna happen. So you just gotta roll with the punches and I guess take it because you gotta stop the puck.
Yeah. Can't complain about it. You're the one that put yourself in the gear. So
Exactly. So like going into a little bit here, like what something else you learned, like what has been like some of the things that you took notice to be successful in the long run for like years to come, especially after this season? Like what did you learn and what are you going to do to help yourself become more successful each and every year you play?
So like I was saying earlier, definitely like treating your body right. I mean, like I do my stretching, I do all that stuff. Like I do my hand-eye, but you think you might be stretching enough. You think you might be tracking a golf ball off the wall or tennis ball, whatever you're using, rolling out enough, using the massage gun, ice bathing, but you can always do more. Like there's never not enough, I would say, stretching within like spread out, maybe within a certain time frame. Like you don't want to overstretch yourself, but just stretching throughout the day, like waking up in the morning, doing a little stretch sometime before practice. And then just if you're at home at night, like I sit in bed sometimes and I'll just go down, touch my toes a little bit. I'll do some butterflies to keep the hips and groins. But yeah, definitely treating the body right. Definitely eating better too. I've been trying to do that, getting more protein, more carbs instead of I was sadly I do eat fast food quite a bit, so that's one thing that you definitely need to cut down on if you're wanting to keep making your way up the ladder of leagues. So that's one thing I've learned.
Yeah, for sure. And just like hips and groins, like that's an essential part of being a goalie. Like if you like you gotta like your hips and groins have to be at the best that they can, especially since like the butterfly is such a weird position that your body's not used to. And like and like especially with like treating the body right, like you gotta like treat your body like at the best you can to perform at the best you can, perform at that elite level. So you just gotta do what you gotta do to stay prepared and stay ready for whenever your shot comes, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely weird because like times that I don't, or that you're not starting or something like that, you might take off like stretching or something like that. But I've learned definitely just these past couple of weeks, like playing pro hockey, like you'll be like watching a goalie partner and he's doing his full game day like get ready stuff, and he's not even playing. And like you get called up and you see that, like you see a guy when you're doing your warm up shots or something, and you look over, he's doing his like full stretching. Like stretching is such a huge part as a goalie nowadays. Like you have to be flexible, you have to be mobile. Um, it's something that I take serious. Definitely now that I'm playing pro hockey, and I saw it last year when I got called up to Peoria. Levy took it very serious, his stretching and stuff like that. So if you see someone like that doing it, you just want to follow in that guy's footsteps. And he's a good goalie. He was a good goalie partner when I was up there. And then going into this year, that's what I started to do. Just started stretching more, and my body's pretty good. It's pretty good, but the 3-and-3 definitely shows that your hips, knees, groins, like it's still a body part, so it's gonna get sore.
Yeah, for sure. Just you learn from that. Like you learn that you need to do more, like especially with that 3-and-3. So next 3-and-3, maybe your hips, legs, everything feels a little bit better than the first time around. So that's also a good learning curve, especially from like what you learned this past weekend.
Yeah, definitely. The 3-and-3 shows a lot. Like, I mean, you can go on with the 3-and-3. Like I said, stretching, hydration is big since we're playing down in the South. Like rinks get extremely hot and you're sweating constantly. It's so just treating the body overall like better is something that I've learned and that needs to be taken more serious. Not that I didn't take it serious, it's just that there's another level to go to, and I learned that.
Yeah, for sure. So going into like your game day a little bit here, like what's a game day like? What do you do before a game day to get ready for a game in the life of Zach Quinn?
So I like getting up early anyway. So I'm like early for me, 8 a.m. I get up, I'll jump in the shower, and then I'll go and get some Dunkin' or some kind of coffee, coffee and a bagel. If it's a coffee like shop, like a little downtown one, or Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, I'll definitely go there, get a coffee and a bagel, and then I'm at the rink right after that, and I'll do some visualization. I'll close my eyes, do a little golf ball off the wall stuff, and then we got pregame. So pregame's nice. Guys come out, just they're there for you. So that's really nice, right in your glove, blocker, chest, make you feel amazing. And then off the ice, and then I'm doing a little stretch, and I go back, and I'll probably get back around 11. I'll eat lunch at like 12, which is like a meatball sub or something like that. Then I take a nap from 3 to 4. Right away, I'm back at the rink, and I'm stretching, rolling out. And then that's when I start my visualization again. I'll golf off the wall, and I'll just go sit in my little stall and close my eyes and just think about plays that could happen. So I'm a big visualization guy. I feel like if you think it, then you're going to do it. If you believe that you can do it, then you can do it. So that's pretty much my game day thing. And then I get on the ice, and my warm-ups are quick. The guys here in Birmingham actually make fun of me for it because I take like 3 or 4 shots per warm-up drill, and then I'm out. That's just quick 3, 4, and then I'm out. And they were making some jokes the other day about it, but it's all fun and games.
Yeah, for sure. Just gotta get in the zone right away, and then hop out, and then hop back in for 3, 4 more, and just gotta do whatever you can to get yourself right for the game.
Yeah, I've always been that way. 3, 4. I just feel like if I overdo it, then I'm like I don't know. I just don't like getting gassed during warm-ups. I mean, I probably wouldn't. It's just a natural thing. If I go, I like going two each side. Like if someone shoots two glove, two blocker, I'm out right away. It's just, I don't know. It's just a natural thing for me now.
Yeah, the games are where you get gas, not the warm ups.
Yeah, yeah. We don't need to be getting gassed in warm-ups.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to go into your junior career a little bit here. You played in Alaska for the Kenai River Brown Bears. Like, what was the process like to find Kenai River in the NAHL? Like, did you attend like the main camp there? Did you get a tryout? Like, what was the process like to get there?
Yeah. So at that time I was 19. I was only goalie for 5 years. I started goalie when I was 14. So I was a late start for being a goalie in general or overall. But I played double A and then I got 1 year triple A at CompuWare. And throughout the year, I mean, I didn't know what juniors was. I had no idea like growing up or anything like that. And then I got an email one time for like an NA3 team, I think. I can't really remember, but so then I started looking into it and I went to the NAHL website and I saw that Corpus Christi had tryouts. The Minnesota Wilderness was a new team. The Austin Bruins, and there was one more, and I did all their pre-draft camps. And I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. So I went to a lot of those, and obviously I would cut from every single one of them. And like a couple of weeks before Kenai's main camp, they just messaged me and they were like, yeah, we saw you at a different tryout. Like, you're more than welcome to come out. We have 2 returning goalies. And then the guy, Jeff Beauparlant, he was a new coach. So they were just like, yeah, we have 2 returning goalies, come on out. So I did. And I made the team. I beat one of the kids out, and then another kid beat the other returner out. So it was just I was lucky enough to have a coach at another camp, and he saw me.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you got the opportunity to get to go into this camp and then get a shot to actually play some games where you played 41 games your first year of juniors in the NAHL. So like, what was it like getting that shot to play in the NAHL and like actually get like a lot of games and be the starter there?
Yeah, it was going into it. There's another goalie, Chris Oldham. He's drafted by the Lightning. He just signed in the Coast. But he was a great goalie, so like no one really knew what was going to happen. And he was young at the time when he was playing in Kenai. And we both played against Fairbanks the first weekend. And then the next weekend was the showcase, and I think I was the only goalie to go 4-0 that weekend, and kind of just rode that from there. They felt confident in me, and I believed in the team and everything that we had there. We went through a stretch where it definitely wasn't going our way, but they believed in me and I believed in them, and that's all I could ask for, especially just a random kid that they invited to a main camp that they really never saw before. So I always appreciate what they did for me and getting me to where I am now, basically.
Yeah, that's unreal. Like how you were just a guy going to the main camp and you're the starter for them then. And just how important was it for you to play as many games as you can, especially to help your development with going into the following year of juniors and going into college?
I mean, it obviously helped. I'm trying to think back on it. I'm looking back at it. I think I was just having fun. Like I didn't really think about, I mean, everyone wants to go play D1 and stuff like that. So, I mean, you're thinking about it, but I just like going out there having fun. I just like playing. That's all I came down to. And I obviously developed a lot of more, or develop skills that I didn't have before. But yeah, I was just going out there having fun, and I let my play kind of do the talking for me, and it did my first year. So that was good. That was nice.
Yeah, for sure. And then the following season, you still played for Kenai River before you got traded to Wenatchee Wild during that season too. So, like, what was it like for a young Zach getting traded to a new team?
Yeah, definitely. That was my first and only experience of being traded. Thank God. I know a lot of guys who they get traded a lot, but it's something that definitely helped me mature more, because you're in a comfortable spot. You're going back to a team where you just started, like you said, 41 games or something like that. Like, and I definitely got complacent that summer. I took training not serious. I just worked. So definitely the start of that season was my fault. And when I got traded, it kind of showed that, like, it's not it's a business. And that kind of, it came down to it right then and there. Like, I have to get going right away. So I got traded to Wenatchee, and that was the best experience I ever had in junior hockey. I mean, I loved Kenai, but the organization wise was way different, the way they treated people. So the guys welcomed me in Wenatchee with open arms. The coaching staff was great there. The city was fantastic. The fans, some fans still watch me play to this day, from both teams, from juniors. So it's a fun thing to play juniors, and yeah, it sucks that you got to get traded, but it definitely matured me and helped me out a lot, especially actually going into college. Like, you don't know anybody going into college, so that was a learning curve.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, what was like your overall experience? Like you said, you had a ton of fun. Like, you had the best time of juniors in Wenatchee. So, what was it like going to Wenatchee and playing in that city and getting so many reps too? Because you played a lot during that season as well.
Yeah, definitely my second year, you felt the pressure of wanting to go play college hockey, like, and you're wanting to be a D1 athlete. That's all kids think about nowadays is D1. It's the best. So, like, getting traded there, definitely it's on the West Coast, so it kind of stinks because there's not a lot of West Coast college hockey teams. But going there, city was awesome. It's in like a bowl of a mountain, so it's like in a nice little bowl. Small city, fans are fantastic. I mean, they were 3,000 to 4,000 on a Friday, Saturday. I mean, even on a Sunday, you would probably get like 1,500 to 2,000. Like, it was great. And then, yeah, just going in and playing, still getting those reps in. You don't really think about it. I'm not a person who, like, I want to be in the net. I want all the reps I can get. But at the time, I'm not really like thinking about it. Like, oh, I'm getting all these reps. This is fantastic. Like, I'm just, like I said, I was just out there having fun. And that's what it comes down to. You can't stress yourself about all the outside factors or what's happening. Just go out there, have fun. That's all it comes down to, is if you're having fun, then you're going to do what's right.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, talk about like the pressure that you face about like going into college hockey. Like, did you like just think about the present and just be in the moment for like juniors, or did you like actually like start thinking about like college as the season went on, or like how did you handle that pressure?
I just went about my business. I just played. I knew that the coaching staff in Wenatchee were going to help me. They were trying their best. I knew that my play was going to help me. I can't remember what it was, but I think my dad told me one time, he's like, yeah, once you got traded, you were like one of the top goalies in the league for like once you got traded. And I knew that going throughout the season that my play would help me. And it's not, Wenatchee was a good team when I was there, so that it didn't affect me that much. But if you're good enough, teams will find you. They'll know who you are. And that's how I always looked at it, especially being on the West Coast, and majority of the schools are Midwest, East Coast teams. So I always looked at it as like, if you're good enough, you're playing well, the team's going to find you.
Yeah, for sure. So then you go on to play college hockey, you play at University of Wisconsin, River Falls. It's like, what was the process to find UW River Falls and like make UW River Falls the school that you would go for 4 years and play college hockey and enjoy getting an education there?
So the process for them was, I was supposed to go to UAA, University of Alaska Anchorage. I committed there, and I didn't pass the NCAA clearinghouse for high school grades. So I was supposed to sit out a season and go back to UAA. And then they told me in January or something like that they weren't going to bring me back. So the only school that called me was River Falls. They were very consistent on calling, and it just showed that they wanted me. And I think it was February, maybe. I was like, yeah, I'm going to come there next year. I didn't see the school. I didn't know anything about them. A kid on Wenatchee played at River Falls, but never really talked about the school or anything like that. I didn't really look at it. I just wanted to play, and they were the one school that gave me the choice, or the chance to play. So I went with them.
Yeah. So going into your first college season, did you have like any expectations, or you're just going to go with the flow and see what happens from there?
I mean, expectations were that I wanted to play every single game. And because when you get to D3, like a lot of kids, they're like, okay, this is my final 4 years. Like we want to play as much as we can. And that's what I was thinking. So I got there, and I didn't play the first 4 games. And then the 5th game, they put me in, and I rode it the rest of the way for the rest of the 4 years I was there.
Yeah. So like, what was that transition like going from the NAHL to play NCAA Division III hockey?
Well, I took a year off in between, so that kind of hurt a little bit. But D3 hockey it's no joke anymore. It's getting better and better every single year, with a lot of kids on the bubble of D1, D3. So the taking the year off kind of hurt me a little bit, but it comes back naturally, and that's what happened. I just went in there with, I want to play, I want to be the guy. It didn't happen right away, and then I was thrown in there, and if you're thrown into a situation, you're going to do everything you can to keep it. And that's kind of what I did. I was thrown in, and I just rode the wave that I was on. And it's definitely a change too, because in juniors, you're playing guys who are, the oldest is 21, and most of the time in the NAHL, they were still an older league in the NAHL when I was there. So you're 17, 18, 19, and then a lot of agers, 20 bombs, age out guys. But then you get to college, I mean, you're facing men. There's guys who are 25. So it's definitely a different experience once you get in there as a freshman. Even though you're 21, I mean, there's a difference from a 21-year-old freshman to a 25-year-old senior who's been working out at college for the last 4 years. But it definitely was just kind of, I rode the wave that was thrown at me in my freshman year.
That's unreal that you were able to just go with the wave, and just, especially that first year, like you said, you didn't play the first 4, and then you played the rest of the season after that. So you played in like 22 games, and like you put up a 1.9 goals against average. So like, what helped you be so successful throughout your first year of college hockey and put up some stellar numbers as well as like make a name for yourself in college?
Definitely playing some of the best teams in the country. I mean, the WIAC, you have Point, Eau Claire, Superior was great. My junior and senior year, they were coming around. Stout, us, and then Northland came in my senior year. But you get to play Point and Eau Claire 2 times from my freshman and junior year, and then my senior year you played them 3 times. Like, they're some of the best teams, and just playing that high pace, those highly skilled players, it definitely helps out a lot. And playing for a team like River Falls, where you have, I mean, River Falls was a powerhouse before my freshman year. And a lot of those guys were the same situation I was in. They didn't pass the clearinghouse, or they were bubble guys on D1 at a D1 level. So like, it wasn't like it was a bad team or bad league. Like, it's a good league, and getting shots every single day from skilled guys and then going and playing definitely helps you and makes you feel confident. And that's what happened my freshman year. The guys are in front of me playing well. Those numbers just aren't a goalie thing. They're definitely a team thing. So that helped out a lot that they were playing in front of me, but just got my confidence going. It took me a few games. But once you get that confidence and you're just always out at the top of your crease, you're seeing the puck. It's like a puck just hits you, and it's not like in any other day or year, it's just going to go right over your shoulder. But for some reason, my freshman year, it would just hit me right in my shoulder and go wide, or bounce over a stick or something like that. Like, so you just got the confidence going my freshman year.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, what was some of the biggest things that you had to learn throughout your college career, especially like going into like your pro days, like after your senior year, like to help develop those like things that you had to learn throughout the 4 years of college?
I wasn't I'm still not a big gym guy, but definitely strength overall. Like, your overall strength is something that you need, especially when you start getting up into this pro league. Like, the leagues are faster. Again, like I was saying, like the WIAC, it was a fast league. So you have to be stronger to make those pushes across. You have to be stronger to be able to hold your post. You have to be stronger just overall, mentally, physically, emotionally. So that was something that was a huge factor, especially the mentally and emotionally part. Because like in juniors, you can show emotion. You can get pissed off and slam your stick or something. Like in college, like you show that, teams are going to know that the next time you get one on him, he's going to start getting mad or something like that. So definitely learned that over the course of my 4 years at River Falls, and now playing pro, is mentally, emotionally, and physically being strong.
Yeah, absolutely. So going into like your mindset a little bit here, like you're playing in a fast league, so like I'm guessing like games don't always go your way during those seasons, those games. Like what would you do to help yourself stay positive, especially when things might not be going your way, like you're giving up a bad goal that you shouldn't have, or your team is just not playing well, or you're not playing well? Like what do you do to help yourself stay motivated and stay positive in the mind, especially?
I'm a simple guy. I like playing juniors. If I got scored on, I would just kind of like look down, and that's all I would do, is just look at the ice. Like I wouldn't look at fans cheering or guys going through the line and giving high fives if I got scored on. Junior or college, I started to, if I got scored on, I would just kind of take a deep breath. Kind of just like, I changed a little bit. I would look around, just accept the atmosphere that I'm in. Like, don't let it bother me. And then going into pro this year, I started to stay focused and just mentally strong. Like if there's a whistle before each puck drop or something like that, I'll just tell myself, I'll be like, stay focused, stay calm, and see the puck. That's all. If I do that, I'm fine. So in between or every whistle, every other whistle, something, if I'm feeling like I'm drifting out or not focused completely, I'll just be like, stay focused, stay calm, see the puck. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, that's a great mindset to have, especially like you just got to stay focused at all times, because if you're not focused, the next thing you know, a puck ends up in the back of your net, and that's the worst feeling. Or maybe you miss something, miss a quick play, tic-tac-toe play that ends up in the back of the net. Like, especially just staying focused, like definitely helps you, and like have those like keywords to bring yourself back in check, especially when things don't go right like that. I find that that's super important as a goalie.
Yeah, I mean, goalies are weird. You talk to yourself, and you talk to yourself for good reasons. It's not like you're just down there talking to yourself. It's because you have to. You're down there all alone. If you're just sitting down there not doing anything, you lose focus. You miss, like you said, you miss something. And you just, at the higher leagues you go, you can't have that split second of losing focus.
Yeah, you're a loner down there, so you gotta find some way to help yourself stay motivated and stay into the game, especially when the puck's all the way at the other end of the ice surface.
Yeah, I wish I could go to the bench and just sit there and talk to the guys for 30 seconds, just get a nice little laugh in.
Just chat with the boys for a little bit there.
Yeah, see how their night's going.
Yeah, if only we could do that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, so going into your like overall, like your 4 years, like you played in 20 plus games like every season. So like you got in a ton of reps, a ton of practice, a ton of game situations. So like how important was it for you to see all those games and like especially help you to pursue a pro career after your senior year?
Yeah, definitely. It's different looking at it from juniors with all the reps. You get into college, because if you look at a junior schedule, it's 60 games plus playoffs or whatever it is. College, you cut that in half almost, 27 games maybe. And then if you're lucky enough, you get 34 or whatever if you make the tournament or something, or you get an extra tournament at Christmas or something like that. So definitely my freshman year, I knew I wanted to play. I wanted to continue to play after 4 years right away. I never had the doubt that I wouldn't go out or go on and play, or I never had someone tell me that you shouldn't do that. I always had a good support system in college for my family. So getting the reps in of 20 games, 22, I don't even know how many else. I mean, in 4 years, I played still not as much as I played in juniors, I don't think. I don't know how much exactly I played in juniors, but my 4 years of college, I still played less than I played in 2 years of junior hockey. So every time you're on the ice in college, at the D3 level, with a little amount of games that you get, you have to take it serious. And that's something that, going back, is what I learned my freshman year is you can't take a day off in college, because you lose to a team you're not supposed to. It hurts your chances of making the tourney bad. Like I was never lucky enough to make the tourney. The WIAC didn't have an automatic bid, so if you won, you didn't go on. I didn't win when I was there anyways, the WIAC, but definitely we lost to some teams that we weren't supposed to lose to my freshman year, and that definitely hurt our chances, and it just kind of dampers the mindset of the guys on the team when you know you're supposed to win and you don't, and you have that small of a season. So taking everything serious in D3 right from the get-go is something that I learned, and getting all the reps I could get was big.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great thing that you learn throughout college, especially to take it into pro and after that. So like after your senior year at UW River Falls, you decided to go pro, where you got a stint with the Peoria Rivermen in the SPHL in the Southern Professional Hockey League before the Senate season ended up being canceled. It's like, what was that first taste of pro hockey like, and finding a team to play in for the Rivermen?
It was good. The Rivermen were, I mean, they're a class organization, top to bottom. They were the best team in the league in the SP last year. So going in, I knew that I was going to be treated well. I was going to have a team in front of me that wanted to play, that wanted to win. And I was told going in that I was going to get one game that weekend, and I got it. And I played pretty decent for my liking. I mean, I only had, I think, 18 shots or something like that. I was both goals were in the first period, and I was pretty nervous. I mean, you do your best to shake the nerves out, do your normal routine, but getting your first pro start is something that not a lot of people can say that they've gotten, or that they had a chance to do. So I was a little nervous, but the guys in front of me in Peoria and the coaching staff there came into the locker room in between the first and second, and they said he's going to keep doing his job. He'll save the pucks from here on out, and that's what I did. And we ended up winning 3-2.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you got in your first game, you got your first pro win. So what was that feeling like after the buzzer went off, after that 3-2 win, and you realizing that you got your first pro win?
It took a second to set in, because you hear that buzzer and you're just like, oh, it's just another game. Like, you're just out there playing another game, having fun. And it kind of hit me when Levy brought the puck down to me. He skated down. He was the one guy to go grab it. He grabbed it and put it in my glove. And my parents were there, so I tried finding them, and I just gave them a big smile. That's really all I could muster out, was just a big smile. I mean, I was always doubted growing up, especially because I started goalie late and I only played AA hockey besides 1 year. I was never really on the best junior teams, the best NAHL teams at the time. College, never was on the best team. So just to be able to go out and prove people wrong, and people who never believed in me, or people who just secretly would say stuff behind my back, whatever it was a huge accomplishment for me. And I just remember getting a big smile on my face and finding my parents in the crowd. It was an awesome experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, and just all the emotions that went through, and like everything that went around it. Like you proved people wrong, you got your first pro win, and now you're still playing pro hockey, and like that's just awesome. Just to see everything that you've gone through is just that's incredible, and it's a special feeling for sure, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this year is the same way. I was cut from, or not released from, an SP team before the season. So there's still a list of people that I have to prove wrong. I have a mental list, and people get checked off when something good happens, and the list grows. It'll always grow. There's always someone out there who will doubt you, or who has something to say, but all you have to do is prove them wrong. And once you do, you just check their name off, and they'll know when they mess up. And that's being satisfied. It's just a good feeling when they know they messed up, and you get to just cross that name off and be like, that's their fault. Let's go down to the next guy. And then it just comes to the next thing to cross off is going to be winning a championship. And so if that happens, then there might be a list of people who their names get said, and I'll be like, these people doubted me, but I proved them wrong. And that's what I'm out to do, is prove people wrong. If I keep getting my chance, that's all I got. That's all I can ask for.
Exactly. I love that mindset and everything that you just said there. So I have a few more questions for you before we end this awesome interview. So do you have any tips for goaltenders looking to get to that next level?
Um, Definitely. Outside of hockey, take school serious. That's something that it did hurt me. I was lucky enough to go play at a school and start at a school. Not a lot of people get that opportunity, but definitely take school serious if you want to be an elite athlete and go play college. Nothing wrong with D3, like I said, but if you're wanting to be a D1 player, you have to take school serious. In general, take school serious. I mean, it's just not a hockey thing. In hockey, I would say definitely just treat your body right, stretch, make sure you got your hand-eye going. Puck handling is becoming a big thing for goalies, getting behind the net, stopping it, setting it up. I learned college is know which hand your defensemen are. They're going to want to come and pick the puck up on their forehand, not their backhand. So that's one thing that I learned in college. That would be a good tip to have with how much puck handling is coming into play.
Yeah, that's a great tip. So thank you for sharing that. So my next question for you is what's your favorite pump up song? If you want to get like a little pump in before a game, some pregame tunes, like what are you listening to?
Oh man. Just any kind of EDM. I like Avicii. My roomie in college was a DJ. I had two of them actually. So just any kind of EDM. Not too hard though. I don't want to break my neck from the music. But yeah, just some EDM music. It doesn't bother me. I'm not really picky. I have a playlist, but I probably haven't updated it in probably 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. I don't really listen to music outside of hockey, but my playlist has been the same for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. I love what you're listening to there. So my final question for you is like what has been your favorite hockey moment so far in your entire hockey career?
Um, my entire hockey career. I would probably, besides my first pro win, because since we already talked about that one, I'll probably say when my team won state championships in 2008. It was my first year of being a legit goalie. I was a goalie the year before, but there's a lot of politics in it. I didn't play a single game, which was fine. I mean, I was first year goalie, but I was also 13 at the time. Like, could have gave me a shot. But no, 14. My team was state champs. We went to nationals, and we ended up losing a national championship game. But definitely winning state was a huge accomplishment for me, and I'll never forget that. I still talk to some of the guys, majority of the guys to this day. It was one of the best things in the world.
That's awesome to hear. Besides losing in the natty championship, but hey, you get a learning experience from that. But you got a state champ in your way now, so that's fantastic. But Zach, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time. I want to wish you the best of luck going forward this season. I look forward to following your career the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a blast. My first podcast or first interview, whatever.
Let's go.
Was a little nervous at the beginning, but I settled down. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure.